Plant milk aisles now stretch far beyond a single almond or soy option. Some cartons list almonds second on the ingredient list, right after plain water. Turning a nut, oat, or bean into a smooth, stable milk requires real processing. This is grocery science. Today, we look at what is really inside plant milk alternatives. Almond milk can contain as little as 1 gram of protein, compared to 8 in dairy. 2 cartons from the same brand can carry very different sugar content. By the end of this video, you will read that plant milk label very differently. Plant milk can absolutely fit a healthy diet. It depends heavily on which type and brand.
Almond milk is typically made by blending almonds with water, then straining out solids.
Most almond milk brands do not disclose exactly what percentage of the product is almonds. Available estimates suggest many almond milks contain roughly 2% actual almonds by content. That low almond content directly explains almond milk's relatively low natural protein level. Oat milk follows a similar blend and strain process, using rolled or steel-cut oats. Oat milk generally contains more carbohydrates and calories than almond milk per serving. Soy milk is typically made from whole soybeans, retaining substantially more natural protein. Soy milk's protein content most closely resembles dairy milk among common plant-based options. Pea protein-based milks have also emerged specifically to close this protein gap. Some pea protein milks now approach or match dairy milk's protein content per serving. Checking protein grams directly, not the plant name alone, reveals true nutritional content. Protein content remains the clearest single nutritional differentiator across different plant milk types. That perfectly smooth, non-separating texture is rarely accidental in a plant milk carton. Gums like gellan, locust bean, and xanthan are commonly added to prevent separation. These gums bind water molecules, keeping plant particles suspended evenly throughout the liquid. Most of these gums are classified as soluble dietary fiber and are generally well tolerated. Some individuals report digestive discomfort, like bloating or gas, from certain gums in large amounts. A small number of brands now produce plant milk using only the plant ingredient and water. Gum-free versions often separate more visibly and require shaking before each use. Carrageenan has drawn more specific scrutiny than other common plant milk stabilizing gums. Some animal studies raised questions about carrageenan and digestive tract inflammation at high doses. Regulatory agencies, including the FDA, currently classify carrageenan as generally recognized as safe. Many plant milk brands have voluntarily phased out carrageenan amid consumer preference shifts. Checking the ingredient list directly remains the only reliable way to confirm carrageenan presence. Added oils, often sunflower or canola, are included to improve creaminess and mouthfeel. Added oil increases total calories and fat compared to plain plant and water versions. Shorter ingredient lists generally signal fewer gums, oils, and stabilizers in the final product. Flavored and sweetened plant milk varieties typically add cane sugar during processing. Added sugar can range from 0 grams in unsweetened versions to over 10 grams in flavored ones. Chocolate-flavored plant milk typically carries the highest added sugar among common flavor options. Choosing unsweetened over original versions can meaningfully reduce added sugar with minimal flavor trade-off. True unsweetened plant milk should show 0 grams of added sugar on the nutrition panel. Heavily flavored, sweetened plant milk can behave nutritionally more like a light dessert beverage. Rice milk generally contains more natural carbohydrate and sugar than nut or soy-based options. Let's explore the details. Rice milk's higher carbohydrate content generally corresponds to a higher glycemic impact. Checking the added sugars line specifically, not total sugar, reveals the clearer picture. Health guidelines suggest limiting added sugar to roughly 25 to 36 grams daily. A few servings of sweetened plant milk can use up a meaningful share of that limit. Choosing unsweetened versions is especially relevant for children consuming plant milk regularly each day. Flavor name alone often predicts relative sugar content fairly reliably across most brands. Comparing several brands side by side often reveals surprisingly large added sugar differences. Protein content and added sugar together remain the two figures most worth comparing. Most commercial plant milk is fortified with added calcium to match dairy milk's calcium level. Fortified plant milk can match or closely approach dairy milk's calcium content per serving. Some research suggests calcium absorption may differ slightly depending on the fortification compound used. Settled calcium can sink to the bottom of a carton, requiring a thorough shake before use. Vitamin B12 and vitamin D are also commonly added, since plants do not naturally provide them. These added nutrients matter especially for people following a fully plant-based diet. Checking for fortification specifically matters for anyone using plant milk as a primary dairy substitute. Some minimal ingredient plant milks skip fortification entirely, prioritizing ingredient simplicity instead. Comparing fortified and unfortified versions of the same plant type reveals a real nutritional trade-off. Dietitians generally recommend fortified versions for children or anyone avoiding dairy entirely. Coconut-based plant milk is naturally very low in both protein and calcium content. Comparing coconut and soy milk side by side reveals a substantial nutritional completeness gap. Not all plant milks function as an equally complete nutritional substitute for dairy milk. Comparing protein, calcium, and sugar together offers the most complete nutritional picture available. Understanding these patterns lets you choose plant milk intentionally, matched to your nutritional needs. Barista blend versions typically contain added oil or fat specifically for better coffee foam. Organic certification restricts certain farming methods but does not guarantee low sugar or additives. A natural label claim does not guarantee the absence of gums or stabilizing additives. Serving size print is often smaller than the flavor description printed above it. Flipping the carton over remains the most reliable way to verify any front label claim. Protein-packed claims can still describe a product with fairly modest protein per serving. Checking protein and sugar directly matters more than trusting a flavor name alone. Comparing several brands side by side often reveals surprisingly large protein differences. Some products labeled all natural still contain added sugar and several stabilizing gums. Plant-based marketing language strongly shapes perceived healthiness, independent of actual nutrition content. Check protein content, check added sugar, and check whether the product is fortified. Choosing soy or pea protein milk supports higher protein intake compared to almond or rice milk. Defaulting to unsweetened versions minimizes unnecessary added sugar across daily plant milk use. Pairing lower protein plant milk with another protein source balances a typical breakfast meal. Shaking the carton before pouring redistributes settled calcium evenly throughout the liquid. Minimal ingredient, gum-free plant milks are often priced higher than standard formulations. A few extra seconds reading the label can meaningfully change what ends up in the cart. Knowledge about ingredients is not about fear. It is about informed, confident choices. We started this video with a simple pour from a plant milk carton. Behind every plant milk carton is a formulation balancing texture, nutrition, and shelf life. The evidence shows protein content and added sugar are the two details most worth checking. That understanding gives you a real choice, rather than just a marketed one. At Grocery Science, we examine food through evidence, not to generate fear. Coming up, what is really inside rotisserie chicken, microwave popcorn, and ketchup? Thank you for watching Grocery Science. Stay curious, stay informed.